It's all went well.
So we don't miss anything.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So you were having a crazy day today?
Oh yeah, man, good one. And crazy stuff. Started great because like yesterday for me, it's actually 5:30 in the morning right now.
Uh-huh.
For you, like it's like
It's
my
nighttime.
birthday. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I begin the day pretty good. Like I'm awake since 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Birthday, everything like went great. And then I received an order had done like 1 month ago,
Hmm.
and they scanned me. I ordered a hat and they sent me female glasses.
Damn.
I mean, what the fuck? And then later I kept seeing posts from where I'm from, like from my village where I
Hmm.
grew up. All the I don't know if you have in your mind the map of Greece because I'm from Greece.
Hmm.
The upper portion of the Boston region, the upper
Okay.
region of Greece, it's
Hmm.
on fire, literally.
Oh wow.
Illegal immigrants have gone and put fires on the forest.
No
Like
shit.
I'm talking about like, if I'm not mistaken, 800 square kilometers are on fire.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
And the fire went to the main city in Alexandroupoli, and they've taken people, newborn children, ours, and old people ready to die, and moved them to a boat.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow.
crazy. Like my heart is aching from that. I've been seeing this stuff all day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
People
intense,
have
man.
taken their hunting rifles and are on the streets looking for these people. It's crazy
Damn.
stuff.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild, dude. Shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know a lot of places are having some fires right now. I know Hawaii just had some fires. California
Yeah.
is always on fire. Yeah, there's just some weird shit happening. Like there's a hurricane that hit
Mm.
California. So,
I saw something like that. I mean,
yeah.
California, I think like every year, isn't that close to Coachella or something? I
Hmm.
think a
Yeah.
few years back they weren't able to move to there,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. Wild
Mm.
shit, dude.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, the fucking world's doing some
Literally on
weird
fire.
weather thing. Yeah, yeah, it's doing some
Literally
weird
on
weather
fire.
things.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, I really appreciate you taking this call. Um,
Yeah.
this is basically going to be a pretty important thing for us moving forward and beyond copy. Kind of hearing from you guys, kind of like the whole principle of like help us help you type of a thing, so we can see where there are like holes in our understanding,
Hmm.
holes in like our whole process, and just seeing how we can like even just properly synthesize what we're thinking at like a higher level, so we can like package it and give it to you guys, so you know you guys have all the tools you need to empower yourself to do whatever you want, whether it's CMO, CRO. It could be simple emails, it could be even more stuff like publishing your own offer, all that kind of stuff, man.
Hmm.
So that's what's going to be that's what these interviews are going to be used for, and I can't stress it enough, man, how much I appreciate it. So thank you very much for taking time out of your day to
Of
do
course,
this.
man. Of course, man.
Yeah.
It's the least I could do.
No, it's thank you, man. I really do appreciate it. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to ask you some questions. Most of these interviews have been done in about like 20 minutes. You can don't hold back. Don't try to answer how you think we want an answer. This is literally going to be like just an unfiltered answer. As much as that comes to your mind, or as little that comes to your mind, is going to
Hmm.
be more than enough for us to get feedback from, so we can learn and move forward and really set up a nice foundation for the future of Beyond Copy. So
Okay.
I'm pretty excited. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna ask you some questions. Talk as much as you want or as little as you want. That's completely up to you.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
but yeah, we're just gonna dive right in. All right, man. So yeah, we'll just start with basic stuff. So why did you join Beyond Copy?
Okay. So last year, almost like a year ago, I joined Harvard University.
Hmm.
So I started from there, and later I went through the stages of the beginner, and campus, then the intermediate and stuff.
Mhm.
And so I practiced a bit my copy before starting outreaching. Then I went into this outreach world, this crazy stuff
Yeah.
that's happening there.
Mhm.
And so when I started outreaching, I thought of myself, why I mean, the best ways to do it is go with Jacob's, sniper method, like have 1,000 variables in there, start doing it.
Mhm.
But I realized much later, like I'm talking about when the Legion started, that
Mhm.
I was super slow. And I think I'm still am. And that's an issue for me. That to give you a perspective, like I sent 100 outreaches, actually 100 different leads in 3 months. But I had like 7 variables. So like basically I was starting a different email to each person. It was super personalized.
Yeah.
Then later I talked with Jacob and helped me a bit to create my and with less variables and outreach.
Mhm.
Then the big problems started to arise, which were I'm sure you have seen it as well in the real world, where new people coming in, they just write, maybe have written one DIC and stuff like that. And they're
Mhm.
so hyped that they went to the chats or so like you as a Legion commander or Andrew Bass, where you reviewed copy and you
Mhm.
pointed out like, okay, this guy has a weak CTA, this guy has a weak subject line or whatever.
Mhm.
Basically, and they went in my copy for my outreach or my DICs as a practice, and they literally take what you said, put it as a comment without even reading anything. And I was getting pissed because, to be honest, like I remember in November,
Mhm.
actually, I was trying to create this perfect outreach. I was focused on building the perfect outreach for like 3 weeks. I wrote an outreach, I sent it for review, had some comments, fixed it, send it again for review, and people basically cancel the previous comments. And this kept happening for 3 weeks, and I was pissed.
Yeah.
And to give you how stupid people were in there, and I'm literally not joking. I had this. Imagine headline one, blue arrow, huge blue arrow pointing down,
Mhm.
the outreach template, and like having like half the page. Then it was example, blue huge arrow pointing down, and the outreach filled with the variables. And guess what the comment was?
Mhm.
Please show us how you fulfill the variables. They didn't even bother to look down, and I was off. So I mean,
Yeah.
they don't know what they're talking about. They didn't pay attention, and they're pretty unhelpful.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, the second most important thing that was bothering me. And the first was that from very early, like I'm talking from the summer I started, people were telling offer Facebook ads, Instagram captions, that type of stuff. DAC and all that stuff were very good for emails. I'm very confident about emails,
Mhm.
but Facebook ads made me super anxious. Like when I had Facebook ads, I was typing like crazy on YouTube how to write Facebook ads.
Mhm.
So like on February, I bought a seminar where they showed me the ACO stuff, email stuff,
Mhm.
everything when it comes to marketing, very general walkthrough
Mhm.
from a from in here in Greek. I got a certificate as well from that, so it was kind of cool. Learned some SEO stuff on Facebook and Instagram, and then I saw you published. I saw you. I was following you, of course, and then I saw you the Beyond Copy
Mhm.
when you first posted. I was interested what it was, but I didn't give much attention.
Mhm.
But because me and Orestes were with whom you had a call earlier,
Mhm.
like he went BC and I asked him what's up because he's also Greek, so we could chat a bit.
Yeah.
And he told me what happens, and I was pretty intrigued. So I joined, and I was shocked. And literally the day I joined Beyond Copy, I revoked my real world subscription.
Mhm.
And like man, I'm in no from since then. I have nothing to say about it. Like it's crazy.
That's
My mind
awesome.
has blown.
That's awesome, man. That actually makes me really happy to hear, you know, that you're able to find value in this and that we're able to give you proper value and empower you
Yeah,
guys. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
yeah. Basically, what everything you said in your VSL of Beyond Copy, it was my life up till that point.
Hmm.
Like exactly.
That's awesome. Yeah, I get people that go, yeah, the VSL didn't hit me except this one part. And some people are like, yeah, that VSL, that was
It
that
was
was
me.
exactly what it was.
That was me. Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, that's
And I
interesting.
remember in a call where you said like, if you hit those points, if you did some kind of research, people will feel like you're talking about them,
Yeah,
and it was very
exactly.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then at that point, when you joined Beyond Copy, what problem were you trying to solve?
I always felt that there must be something more
Hmm.
because everybody was telling how much money can you make with this shit. Okay. But only emails and captions, really?
Yeah.
It is that simple. It doesn't feel like balanced. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. So little work for so much money.
Yeah.
No, I don't buy that. There must be something more.
Yeah.
And that hit me all more and more hard while as long as people were saying, "Oh, do Facebook ads." How? I don't know how to do this shit. Yes, maybe I can write them, but
Hmm.
how to do everybody? What target group am I putting? What type should they buy? Should they check? What they should do with that? How long?
Hmm.
How short? What is going on? There's so much more into that that I know I'm missing. I can feel it, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I cannot stress enough how stressed I was because I knew there was missing something. And the fact is that because I'm in a university right now and I have, exams, in the June I
Hmm.
had exams. So I took a break from outreaching. So what I was start practicing, like you and Chief said. Every day I was practicing writing copy, retyping, and all that stuff.
Hmm.
And I devoted some time to just gather leads. So when the exams finish, I'll start sending. And the thing is that, um, oh fuck, what I was saying,
That you
what I
were
was
in
saying.
university and that you stopped gathering
Before that, if you can,
leads.
if you remember, before that, if I forgot what I
You
was
were
going
writing
to.
copy, you were practicing every day.
Oh shit! Come on!
I
Oh
asked
my
you
god!
what problem you were trying to solve.
Oh yeah. So I'm starting to see more of your videos
Hmm.
and things starting to click like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now we're getting somewhere. But then with all the calls, getting deeper, deeper, more into psychology, which um get me more hyped because I love that stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think one personally, because I haven't had such experiences, maybe I don't know why. I think I'm not as disciplined as I could be,
Hmm.
meaning that there's always more I could do. Like today, I commented on your on the on the general chat
Hmm.
about laziness and that stuff.
Hmm.
If you remember, and that's my main thing. Like I couldn't tackle that in your woo-woo stuff when you explain mindset. It helps me work out with that as well. It's
Hmm.
not like, oh no, go, you suck, go work 16 hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that. It's something like this.
That's
Did
awesome.
I answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's
Great,
perfect. And
great.
and when it comes to like the laziness and stuff, we
Hmm.
went over a little bit of, I asked you those questions, but also you should be try to figure out, excuse me, and this is done talking to your subconscious and like kind of like figuring out your hooks and stuff.
Hmm.
Try to figure out what gives you permission. Because like when you're lazy, and this is me and Chief have talked about this actually a lot. Um, when you're lazy, or procrastinating, you're like people would blame like, oh, it's TV, oh, it's video games, blah 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 blah. But really, if you boil it down, it comes down to a permission giving process.
Yeah.
And you're actually giving yourself permission to be lazy. And when you realize that, it's not the video game, it's not the fucking, cup of coffee that's, making me focus on something else. That's actually you giving yourself permission to be lazy. And because you gave yourself permission, you have the fucking worst logic. Like how
Yeah.
we talk about irrational math and shit. You have the worst logic to justify your laziness, to
Yeah.
justify the permission you gave yourself. So,
Exactly.
yeah, really try to
Otherwise,
work.
when it comes to
What?
what when it comes to procrastinating, there were so many times that I said, okay, I have to do this,
Mhm.
and my body wouldn't move.
Yeah,
It was a tug of war with someone. Like I
yeah,
wanted to do something, but wouldn't let me,
yeah,
and I had to do it for a lot of time.
yeah.
And then I like copied something my mother does, which she
Mhm.
told me like, okay, I told I would do this, I will fucking do this. I don't care what happens.
Yeah, that's
Do it
awesome.
and jump like free.
See, that right there is permission giving. You giving
Yeah,
yourself permission to do it because you said, fuck it, I'll do it.
yeah,
So really try
exactly.
to figure out, and
Hmm.
this is for, later, and we'll get back to the interview, but this is just because, I've been thinking about like what you said earlier in the post, and you brought it up, and I was like, oh, well, I'll tell him this
Yeah,
now. You know what I mean? I'll probably do a little mindset module on it, but I digress. That's
for
for
another
that's for
time.
later. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so besides the real world, did you try any other courses, like any other online courses or whatever?
Uh, Apart from the seminar, no, nothing
Okay,
else from the seminar. Totally, no.
awesome. So, excuse me. I ooh, I just ate. So, uh, okay. So you kind of saw my stories. You were a little skeptical, it sounds like. You're like, what is this? Right?
Hmm.
So what did you expect before, like right before you joined Beyond Copy? What were you expecting?
So, yeah, I saw your stories. Okay, it was about Beyond Copy. I saw the sales page. I remember reading it while hearing it from your VSL.
Hmm.
And what was holding me back from joining immediately was that I was already in the real world. And
Hmm.
because I'm a student in university, my parents pay everything. So I don't have very limited funds.
Hmm.
And I couldn't pay both subscriptions.
Hmm.
So I either had to, one, I had to choose. But thanks to, because I had the Orestes who joined
Hmm.
both of them for a while, he was on both um, groups, let's say. He explained what stuff is going on. He told me like we're doing deep marketing, not just copywriting. With that, there's a lot of people in
Hmm.
explaining how is the situation in there, and what actually made me get inside was when he told me like it was you, other captains in chief inside, and that were very few people in.
Hmm.
That was my main thing. And even better when I heard that there were people from the old HU, which for me means that they actually went through the process of practicing a bit to
Hmm.
have enough, let's say, experience, even practicing, to
Hmm.
have legitimate comments to you on your app, on your efforts in practice.
Hmm.
Basically, their opinion matters to me.
Hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's really cool. That's really cool to hear everybody's journey. It's really awesome how like the spider web is actually like weaved, it all comes together. It's pretty cool. Okay, man. So then, since it sounds like you've been in Beyond Copy for a while, which I know you have,
Mhm.
what would be the biggest thing that you've learned so far? Like your biggest takeaway? Like,
Oh,
yeah,
biggest takeaway.
it could be anything. It doesn't have to just be a lesson. It could be anything.
I've been watching like every day I'm watching a call, so I have many things in my mind right now, so it's crazy. But I will boil it down to this, similar to what I said earlier, like in the psychology stuff. I realized that marketing is actually super easy because it has to actually no, I will frame it like this. It's simple but very complex at the same time because it's about human psychology. And if you understand human psychology, it's like understanding yourself, and understanding yourself, having like self knowledge is
Mhm.
one of the hardest things you can do, a human can do, understanding
Yeah.
himself. And so if you're thinking like this, it's easy to figure out what works and what not,
Hmm.
but you have to reach a point where you can judge yourself very strictly, very logically, but at the same time, we have some emotional elasticity because you cannot, there's no logic in emotions.
Hmm.
So I've been paying a close attention into that emotional stuff. And that I saw that in Alan's call.
Hmm.
Everything he talked was about psychology, has
Hmm.
nothing to do with marketing, basically, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You just use the internet and a few like apps, applications, and you use the knowledge of psychology, you put it in words, and you send it out there for people to see, and which affects them in a certain way.
Hmm.
And I thought that was very cool. It actually makes sense, man. I don't know how to explain this better.
Yeah. No, that's perfect, man.
Yeah,
There is no perfect way or perfect answer or right way or right
yeah.
answer when it comes to this. Whatever is on your mind, dude, just let it out. That
Hmm.
is going to be the best way that you can help us help you help us.
Totally.
If that makes
I
sense.
mean, the biggest mechanic you have ever met in your life, but if you see funnels, the funnels, upsells, bumps, Facebook ads, everything is a process where you take your psychology
Yeah.
knowledge and you put
Yeah.
it in a machine, something
Yeah.
to
That's
automate
awesome.
the process. Yeah,
Yeah. 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 Man sounds like a super mechanic over here.
you have no idea.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Okay, so then it sounds like that was a pretty big takeaway, and there's a lot of little takeaways within that big takeaway, which is really awesome. I like seeing how all of that compounded in your mind when you were explaining it. That was really cool. Okay, so then when you joined Beyond Copy, what surprised you about Beyond Copy?
The thing I told you before that I knew it was missing,
Hmm.
it was much bigger. I literally thought to myself being in the real world and thinking of the days when I was outreaching,
Hmm.
and I literally told myself, oh my fucking God, I was a scammer.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I was a scammer because I told them I could do stuff, but I didn't know anything about limiting beliefs,
Yeah,
writing on outcomes. I just knew a framework which supposedly did something, and that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And and I started getting again anxiety and stress because I realized how much I didn't knew,
Hmm.
which make everything like my mind blow.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Mm,
really cool. Okay, man. That's wow. So then, so then with that whole, you know what you don't know, and then you know that you don't know what you don't know, right? With that whole concept of there being more, and as you learn, you
mm-hmm.
learn you don't know shit, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is funny is like, bro, I'll hit new heights, and then I'm like, oh fuck, the ceiling just got raised. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, um, okay. So then, with that in mind, what was your biggest challenge when joining Beyond Copy? Was it like
Biggest
it could be
challenge.
anything. So like some people have said learning to learn. Some people said the 3 hour calls, how to get my attention focused, like, stuff like that. So what was your biggest challenge when you joined Beyond Copy?
I think my biggest challenge in Beyond Copy was the biggest challenge that I have, the biggest challenge that I have in anything in general, which is the ability to take what I've heard and be able to implement it in real life,
Hmm.
which is actually the point of doing anything.
Hmm.
Like you said like on limiting beliefs, on outcomes, on anything you said. Now, how I'm gonna be able to remember all that stuff,
Hmm.
and then to have the ability to write them, to use them in anything I do. And it's a lot of stuff. You cannot
Hmm.
just, okay, I'm writing an email and I have actively thinking of limiting beliefs and outcomes.
Hmm.
There's so much more that the only way to be able to use that knowledge is to do it unconsciously.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Hmm.
having that in mind, I literally am reviewing every day something. I have to do it. So I think that's the hardest thing for me. And I also am getting a bit jealous sometimes when I see people in the chats talking some stuff from the calls, or even if they have some extra knowledge, some extra experience.
Hmm.
I'm having a hard time understanding what they're saying. But if I read it a couple of times, see what they're talking about, I understand it. I knew it. But
Awesome.
on the moment they made the question or they answer something, I didn't know what it was. I think the manager did ask Jacob answered him about CRM something,
Hmm.
and I was curious about what he was saying. But then Jacob answered him, and I was like, okay, I knew that. Stuff like that,
Yeah.
and that made me a bit to be scared of answering some comments on to being so active on the
Hmm.
chats. But I'm working on that.
Yeah. You should read
Mm.
the book. It's called, I think I put it in the chat. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked. Read that.
Yeah.
Read that. That'll help. That'll help. That helped me. I haven't finished it because I have like fucking 6 other books I'm reading right now. And then
How
Alan
many books
gave
are you reading at the same time?
dude. I'm in my office right now, but on my nights I have a Kindle filled with
Hmm.
like 4 books. Then I have like physical books. I have one, two, three. I have 4 I'm reading, so I have 7 total. And
At the
then
same time.
yeah, at the same time. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I do is I mainly focus on one book. Like right now,
Hmm.
it's How to Get Rich. I'm almost done. And then what I used to do was this. I used to, and this is a side note, whatever. I used to read a fiction book, whether it was a fantasy, whatever, like a fun book. I'd read a fun book, and then I'd read a book to learn, and then a fun book
Okay.
and a book to learn. You know what I mean? But right now, I'm reading like 4 books to learn, and then one fantasy book, which is The Witcher, like the video game, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
I know,
actually
I
reading
know.
the books, which the books are fire. And
Hmm.
and then I'm reading How to Get Rich because that one I'm almost done with. And then I'm also listening to the Master Key System and doing that stuff. And then now I'm listening to Dan Kennedy stuff. So
Oh,
I'm always learning. It's
yeah.
it's a lot. And then Alan just fucking gave me 3 more books to watch. I
Oh,
mean to read. And I'm like, God damn, bro. It's like so much
like
learning all at once.
if you look my Amazon list of books I have like 250 books in there.
Yeah.
And
I
the
believe it.
worst part is I wanted to buy 100 million offers,
Yeah, yeah,
Harmosi's book,
yeah.
but I cannot buy it in Greece. I need to pay like $50. There's
Uh,
nowhere in Greece. I have to ship it from USA.
yeah,
So I'm reading it
you'll be fine, bro.
from Kindle. Yeah.
Yeah. It's honestly that's why I got the Kindle because it got
Hmm.
so crazy. So I would read this is what I'm gonna do now. So I'm gonna get the Kindle because it's cheap, right? And then like the book on the Kindle super cheap. And then if I like the book, I'll buy it and add it to my physical library. And then I have
Yeah.
like a big
I
ass
love
library.
I love to have a physical copy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, same.
that's my thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a physical reader too, dude.
Mm.
It's I still like the feel of a book and shit. Awesome, man. So that sounds like a very unique challenge that you're overcoming. That sounds really awesome. And
Mm.
self-awareness is the first step too. So that's really cool, dude. And then that's why we do the mindset stuff or I'm gonna ramp up a little bit more of that just to empower you guys more with more tools to really work through this stuff because
That's
as
great.
long as as long as you get the mindset right, there's no one smarter than you, there's no one fucking luckier, there's no one better than you know what I mean? It's really just right time, right place most of the time. And then like 100% mindset is what I'm
Yeah.
starting to realize. Okay, man. So then I just have a couple more questions and then we'll
No,
wrap
no worry
up,
about it.
and then I'll respect your time and let you carry on with your morning. Um, so what are your thoughts on Beyond Copy as a community?
Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean as
Like
a
the
community? If it's
like
good or
the
bad? What?
yeah, like the community of Beyond Copy. Like the people inside of it, the vibe, the energy, the helpfulness, that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
okay. I mean, everything's great. Like, I have no like anything to say. Like, everybody, if you ask a question, everybody answers respectfully. If I need anything, everybody's there to help.
Hmm.
Like, it's great, man. In the feedback channel, everybody's good. Like, I've sent people stuff.
Hmm.
Actually, it's very I forgot the word, but I'm very surprised that everybody's so kind. Like,
Hmm.
everybody say thank you. Everybody will say all good or stuff like that.
Hmm.
Talk to like gentlemen. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
how to say it better.
that's awesome. Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah,
like that. Very gentlemanly.
yeah,
That's cool. Awesome, bro. All right, so we'll just wrap up with these couple of questions, and then we're
yeah,
all good. This has been really insightful, and I honestly, bro, I can't. Me and Chief can't tell you guys how much we appreciate this. So thank you so much.
yeah. Of
Um,
course, man.
so would you recommend this? Would you recommend Beyond Copy to other people?
Yeah, totally. 100%.
Awesome.
100%.
And then who would you recommend it to? Like what type of person would you recommend it to?
I mean, if someone tells me that they need to learn about marketing, but they don't know where to start, I would obviously I'd send them here. But still, because no, actually no. Since Chief will put this guy to teach copy,
Hmm.
literal copy, I think straight here.
Awesome.
That's it. There's no better, any better place, I think, that I know of at least.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Awesome. And then why would you recommend them?
because here they can learn the basics, how to start, how things work, and then how to get deeper and learn why they work.
Hmm.
I think that's the reason why how things should be done
Hmm.
is to have an understanding of why things work, not just because they work, you should do it.
Hmm.
Because then you'll be like I said before, like oh, I felt like a scammer because yeah, I know have a framework that work. I didn't know why. So that didn't click. I just used the framework. But if I don't know why it works, I cannot use it to or change it in any way to make it uh, adapt on the client or whatever, on the
Hmm.
environment that I want it to be. It's
Hmm.
very strict, I might say. Something like that.
Awesome. No, that's perfect, bro. That's awesome. That's great. All right. Now I got what I call a curveball question for you, bro. It's the
Throw
hardest
it.
question. It's the hardest
Okay.
question. So what are your thoughts on Chief and me?
Oh, you're great, man. Man, blowing brains every week. Wow. I mean, I don't know. Like, I love how every time on the calls, you start with your mindset, you start talking, and then Chip takes over. He talks about his deep stuff. Everybody is, I'm sure that everybody, if they open the cameras, they will be like with the mouths, with the jaws dropped,
Hmm.
with the hands like this, and trying to say, what the fuck did he just say?
Hmm.
And then when he finishes a sentence after talking it for a while, you say this exact thing. That's so important too.
Hmm.
And you know that you will say you will explain it in a bit more simple terms
Hmm.
by adding some um mites and stuff inside.
Hmm.
Make it easier to digest. That's very
That's
cool.
awesome.
Like a duel at once saying what it needs to be said, one explains it to more simple terms, maybe.
Hmm.
Nothing so simple to take the meaning out of it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, thank you so much for this interview and
Yeah, of
these
course, of
awesome
course.
answers to these questions. They really help a lot, like more than you know. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to take any more of your
You're
time.
welcome.
And hey, man, tag us in the chat with anything. We always try to
Of
get to
course,
you
yeah.
guys as fast as possible, as thoroughly as possible. And if it
Mm,
ever gets lost, don't be afraid to ping again, or don't be afraid to
yeah,
like kind of like you're like, hey man, don't want this to get lost. So that's totally fine. And
yeah,
yeah, man, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And like I said, I'm gonna let you go and enjoy your morning. And
yeah.
thanks,
Of
man.
course, man. Thank you.
You have a good one.
Have a nice night, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed pretty soon. So yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, honestly, I was like, fuck it, bro. I
This
have
was your
to,
last call?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have like 2 sales pages to write, and and I'm almost done with one of them.
Mm.
Like I'm like 60% of the way, and the other one I just started. It's another AC page, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna create like destroy it. But then if I go to sleep now, then I'll be better tomorrow. So I might just
Yeah, sure. I
like
mean,
read
this
the shit.
like that job you have to do is like a morning for you. You'll
You,
be finished by noon or
you say that
something
one more
like that.
time?
You'll be finished like noon. For you guys, it's nothing like, right?
Yeah,
It's
no, I mean that is true. That's why we're able to write so quick. And I'm honestly almost done with them. I just want to make sure that they're just right. Because one,
yeah.
I'll tell you this. One is for Beyond Copy upsells,
Hmm.
for like just to make sure that upsells are taken more, and that
Hmm.
way like affiliates and stuff you guys get better commissions and shit, just so that there's more conversion rate on that stuff. And then the second one is I'm coming out with another product from my men's dating that I'll be running to. So I'll be working with like two congruent offers at the same time, and then we'll see. I might make a third. We'll see, because it gets pretty dicey. Too many things
Man,
at
I would
once.
like to see a schedule, your schedule. Like, literally, take a piece of paper and write everything you do in a day.
Oh shit.
I'm so interested to see how you manage to do everything in a day. Do you
I
sleep? Do you eat? What do you do? Do
Yeah,
you go for walks? How do
yeah,
you do all that stuff?
it's funny. I'll just let you know. I'll just tell you here. I don't have a formal schedule. I used to write out like on Google, like
Hmm.
blocks of things, but too many things happen all at once that like I'll be working
It
on
got
one
messy.
thing and then something else will take priority, and I'm like, fuck, shift. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I get it. I get it.
So with me, it's very much bob and weave. It's like, okay, I can leave this over here, take a note of it, right? Don't forget it, come back to it. Like today I wrote, emails for my offers, scheduled out what I'm gonna write tomorrow, work some personal branding, started this upsell for Beyond Copy. I'm about 60% of it like done.
Hmm.
Did these interviews. Then I started the second product already. Sales page is almost completely done. And then I got to film the VSO, which is super easy. And yeah, it's just that. Then working Beyond Copy, thinking about lessons for like accelerator dudes, for you guys, for foundational course, mapping out, planning the future with Chief. It's like a whole
Yeah.
conglomerate of everything.
Yeah.
So
Such a full day.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's an understatement, dude. It's kind of funny, like they always tell you, like, so this is one thing as me and Chief are talking about, and since you're my last call, and this is, you know what I mean, this is like just free flow. I'll just let you in on
Go
like
ahead.
some secret sauce, bro. So yeah, like
Ooh.
it's kind of funny, like me and Chief were kind of like talking about it. He was asking me like how much, like we were talking about like how much truth we should put in, like stuff like that, and like some like deeper level stuff. And I was like, well, bro, the truth is it's like we were trying to figure out the positioning of like the this like new course that we're gonna try, the foundational kind of course. And we were like, well, it really is like the golden shackles. Like people tell you to, do the 10K a month type of thing. But what they're telling you with emails, with whatever, very low level stuff, you are basically trading your job, right? For like a golden shackle, like golden handcuffs, right? Because I know a lot of people who fucking hate their lives, who do the freelance thing. They make like 20K a month, but they have zero time. Whereas in with you guys, and like with me, what me and Chief are doing, what we're teaching you guys, is how to leverage high income skills to where maybe at first you're not making too much, but then there's like this tipping point, as you've seen with Brahm and with some of the other guys.
Yeah.
And then you just take
exponential growth.
Yeah. Which is the same thing that I did. Like I was talking to Chief and I was like, shit, dude, I can't believe I made 30K with one offer. And I'm not even running anything to it anymore. I only spent like 10K. I made 30K in profit. And I was like, shit, that's wild. You know what I mean? So it's.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Do you realize how much money 30K is?
Yeah, I do. Me and Chief actually have talked about it before on podcasts that we did together, like in the old HU days. And one thing that we got, and this is probably why like everything works out so well, and like we're very aligned. Because I used to get pissed off when people would be like, "Oh, 5K is not much," and I'm like, "Fuck you, dude!" Like some people, 5K is like a year's worth of working a hard laborious job in like another country. Like fuck off. 5K is a lot. That's a big win. Any win is a big win, And so
both my parents don't make a year 15K. Both my parents.
Yeah.
So imagine that.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
And when I try to explain them what I'm doing here with you guys, because they want the university, but the university has like, it's 5 years.
Yeah.
And it has an average graduation time of 7.5 years. If I finish the university at 7 years, I would be 27 because I went to the military as well and stuff like and other stuff. And everybody says I would need minimum 3 years of finding a job that pays minimum wage. And I'm talking about a job in electrical and computer engineering.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was a network engineer in the military.
Yeah. I don't care about, I don't like the idea of being 35 and get paid $1,000.
Yeah. No, man. With this, that's why we're doing all this, to empower you guys, because, and you heard it with Alan, like back in the day, the shit was super easy. And now it is easy. You just have to know how to maneuver what's left, right? And like what's happening in the future. And so that's what we're positioning Beyond Copy to do, so that you guys can be empowered to just be able to fucking do what you want. Like if you want to be a CMO, CRO, fuck yeah, we'll help you. If you want to publish, if you want to launch your own offer, if you just want to do the email game, like you could be a list manager. Totally cool, that's why we're here, and that's why we're doing these interviews. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you. I'm not going to take any more of your time. And thank you so much, man. This was very insightful.
No worries. Whenever you need anything more, just ask me. If you need another call.
Yeah, thanks.
And I will catch you up on Friday or Saturday. I'm sorry.
Saturday. Yeah, I fucked up. It's not Friday. It's Saturday.
Yeah, you had me confused there.
Yeah. All right, man. You have a good one. You have a good morning.
Yeah.
Later.